As I promised you earlier, we have a guest from Tampa, Florida. His name is Benny Green. He is the uncle of Brittney Overstreet, who was 16 years old when she was attacked by cops at the Chamberlain High School, in the Chamberlain High School cafeteria. She was brutally attacked, jaw broken in 2 places, and then, of course, like the police always do, she was then said to be the criminal that she had attacked them. So we want to expose that. I think it's a really important case that's pending. She is actually facing some charges, and Benny is going to be talking about that. And I wanted to ask you, Benny, first I want to welcome you to the show, to African Resistance Now. Can you tell us, kind of give us a brief overview of how this thing unfolded and what happened to Brittney?
Well, we received a call on the 19th, and she's 17.
17.
We received a call on the 19th that morning, roughly around 11 o'clock, from a aide that's at the school that's a friend of my younger sister. She was distraught and screaming and telling my younger sister to tell my older sister, Brittney's mother, she needs to get to the school immediately. And I could hear her in the background because my sister put on the speakerphone. I could hear her screaming. So we jumped in the car immediately, and it takes about 10 to 11 minutes to get there. Once we get there, we're told that we can't see Brittney. So we're saying, wait a minute, we just got a call that she was unconscious. She was slammed and beaten. We really didn't know it was by the Tampa PD officer, the RSO, at this time. We didn't even know that. All we knew that she was unconscious, supposedly unconscious, and she had some type of fluid coming out of her ear, and she had been picked up and slammed. We didn't know by who. We didn't know anything at the time, but we wanted to see her. So we were told by the assistant principal, Amanda Alea, that we could not see her. Well, we wondered, why can't we see her? So immediately what went through my mind is, I've been through this with, I have a lot of brothers and sisters. I've been through this before. One of my brothers, they said you can't see him. It was because he was dead. And immediately what went through my mind was they done killed my niece back here somewhere. So they're hiding in the back, trying to figure out what they're going to do. So she said, just come in my office and talk to us. So we go into the office. Once we get into the office, she said, well, let me explain to you what happened. We just want to see Brittney. This is what we're saying. We just want to see her. Well, you can't see her. But we don't want to hear anything else they have to say. But she begins to tell us about a story of 3 girls, rival girls. These girls have a rivalry. And the girls say that Brittney had mace in her purse. And it's protocol for her to take the purse. So supposedly what she said she did was walk up to Brittney, snatch the purse from Brittney in the cafeteria. Brittney, in retaliation, pulled back because her arm was in the loop. When she pulled it, it pulled her arm. So Brittney said, I pulled back. So now she's up and they're doing a struggle over the purse. So then another assistant principal comes over and grabs my niece from behind. He's holding her arms. They've taken the assistant principal is taking the purse. The female assistant principal. The male assistant principal has her arms behind her back at this time. The RSO comes over. Now the assistant principal didn't tell us this. We find out this later. The RSO comes over and tells her she needs to stop, calm down, what are you doing? Why are you trying to get to her? But she has no purse. He didn't know what was going on. He didn't know anything about, supposedly, about mace or anything. He picks her up, slams her to the ground, the assistant principal with her. They have their knees in her back. She has a dress on. So she's telling me what I was trying to do. I was trying to get to have my dress. My dress was coming up, and they're all on me, you know. So they handcuff her. At that point, from witnesses, they say at that point he picked her up off the ground, slammed her again. Her face hit the table. And they say they heard a crunch. Then she hit the ground again, which the medical report it shows that in the medical report. She has a jaw was broken in 2 places. She had 8 stitches, 2 loose teeth, 1 chipped tooth, a concussion, bruise on her arms and legs, and now she has headaches. The whole side of her face is still numb. So now I'm going back to when we were in the office with her. We're telling her we want to see my niece. Well, I'll see what I can do. So she goes to wherever she went, comes back and he said he'll let you see her, but you have to wait till he finishes his report. So I said, we want to see my niece. We want to know what's going on, man. You know, at this time our frustration level was getting higher and higher. We go, but we keep our cool. So we go out. So she comes back. She says, these people want to see her. Just let them see her. Let them come back and see her. So he says, well, let them come back one at a time. Something like that. He said. So we didn't want to hear that. We all walk back. We're walking back with the assistant principal. So when she opens the door, we walk in and we see her. Her head is down between her legs, and it's blood, a puddle of blood, in between her legs. And we're calling her name, Brittney. So we lift her head up. When we lift her head up, we could see the blood and everything coming out of her face. And it's like it's like somebody punched you in your chest, And he's still sitting there writing as though nothing had happened. So I tell my sister, start taking pictures right now. So my sister started taking pictures. He stands up and says, get out. He tells us to get out of his office. Only the mother can be in here. So we start taking the pictures. So I tell my sister, keep taking pictures. And I tell my other sister, I said, we're gonna leave, but we want to know which one of these guys slammed her. Find out which one of these guys did this. Because when we get in there, we find out, more through talking, we find out it's him that had done it. It was one of the RSOs, the officers that did this. So when we leave the office, and my sister's in there with her by herself. We had to call the ambulance to come get her. They never even called any ambulance, nothing. On his police report, he says that he called nurse into the office with my sister in there. My sister said nurse never came in there. The nurse never came in there. They're saying the nurse cleaned them up. The paramedics cleaned her up. And my sister had to call them. They refused to call them.
I think you brought some pictures.
Yes.
Can we see those pictures?
I'm sorry.
What you're looking at is the aftermath of this brutal beating on Brittney Overstreet that was done by this cop at Chimuranga High School. I agree with the chairman. It is enough to make people want to get armed. So I understand in the aftermath of this attack, the police have been busy doing their thing, covering these things up.
Muddy in the water.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the witnesses that they supposedly have were interviewed by the officer that did this. His name is on the bottom of each one of those statements.
Okay.
I went to the area district manager, who is Henry Washington, and I said to Henry Washington, I said, "Are you doing a investigation?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Are the people that they're being investigated fired? Are they still working? Is Mandy Alea, Assistant Principal Henderson, is Manny Santana, who is the RSO officer, are they still on the job?" "Yes, they're on the job." I said, "How are you doing a serious investigation if they're still there?" And that was my reason, because of that police report. His name's on the bottom of each one of them. So how can you do it? How are you investigating yourself?
So this police report that you sent me, this is the one you're referring to?
Yes.
So
you look at the bottom, that's his name there under each one of them.
Has this been in the media at all?
Well, Channel 10 did something on Saturday, the Saturday after it happened, but they were so wishy-washy that it was, it was just, I guess, I don't know, But the Sentinel has has printed several times. Okay. The Sentinel, the Florida Sentinel, has been doing different stories on it.
Black newspaper.
A black newspaper, correct. But the Tampa Bay Times and St. Pete Times, they called and they said, well, we'll run it by editor to see if they think it's something we can do, and we haven't heard back from them. So no other news places have called us.
Okay. Well, we have Brittney Spear Media, and we definitely want to tell this story. That's the reason that people have to help us raise this $1,000. You have to call this number and make your donation, make your generous donation to 888-313-7060 to Brittney Spear Media. This is our telethon, but as you can see, we have a lot of information for people to get educated on what's happening in the community. I'm here with Benny Green, who is the uncle of Brittney Overstreet, who was brutally attacked by the police at Chamberlain High School. And he is being interviewed by me, and we certainly want to use this story to help us raise this money. This is just an example of why we need to raise these resources to build Burnetsville media and have the kind of media that will hear these stories and put these stories out. Call us here at 888-313-7060. Manny, you were saying that the Sentinel, which is a black newspaper in Tampa, has been printing your story. How has the community, have you been getting word from community members who have heard about it? Have the people been supportive?
Yes, they have. Most people don't understand how we remain so cool. They don't know how because you got to imagine. It was my niece. It wasn't my daughter.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but I just can't imagine walking into a room and seeing my daughter bloody, and didn't find out later that it took two men to do this. You know, two men basically did this. You know what I'm saying? And overzealous. I think they were both overzealous. They're gonna prove their point. Because when we walked in, they were just, he was nonchalant. He didn't care what we thought. You know, she's not going anywhere. Well, we called an ambulance for her. Or she's not going in. She's under arrest. I mean, he was very arrogant. And in his report, he said that he feared for his safety.
Yeah. How big is Brittney?
Brittney's about 100 pounds. Very, very, very slim.
Yeah. 100 pounds.
About 100 pounds.
He was pretty scared, though.
Yeah,
Brittney, huh?
Yeah.
That seems to be an old story.
But he feared for his safety with us. So he said when we walked in, first he said it was three gentlemen came in the room with two females, and we swung the door open. It's on his.
He said he was afraid of.
He said
afraid of the family.
Yeah. He said he was afraid of. He feared for his safety when we came into the room. Now it wasn't three of us. It was my sister's fiance, myself, and my two sisters. You know, I mean, his report was just full of untruths, lies, and
of course that's the way they do it. That's why we need Burnetsville media to tell these stories and tell the truth. Please call us here at 888-313-7060. We're speaking with Benny Green. He's the uncle of Brittney Overstreet. If you just caught us in the last few minutes, Brittney Overstreet was brutally attacked by the police at Chamberlain High School, and she has got two places in her jaw that was broken. She was body slammed by the cops at Chimuranga High School, and we're speaking with Benny Green, her uncle, about the situation and how it's being publicized, and also what kind of community support he's been given.
What date did that happen?
September 19th.
September 19th. So we're very interested in looking at this case and seeing what can be done about it.
Yes, sir.
So what are the kind of things that can people contact you and find out more information about the case?
Yes, if it's possible, I'd like for them to maybe contact the station here, and then,
right on.
You have my contact information, and we can.
And they can call and get that information while they're doing their pledge. They can call 888-313-7060. We can give them more information.
Correct.
What information you're talking about they can get, John?
So I know people might want details of the story. I don't know where they caught. Some people may have caught, the middle of the story. So
you can call here and get the information.
Yes,
that's what you're saying.
Definitely.
Have people who've shown interest in the case in the communities, has anyone said they're willing to do anything or at all?
Yes, there have been people that have been helping us with the contacting the different press agencies and things like that. Nothing, no major organization has came and said, hey.
Do you have a contact list? If there was someone, a group that wanted to come into Tampa to try to organize around that particular case, do you have a contact list so that there could be, a core group that we could begin to work with?
I can't tell you I do.
Okay.
I can't tell you. We were supposed to meet with some pastors.
We'll say it.
We were supposed to meet with some pastors. That never happened.
Yeah.
I don't know why exactly, but
I do.
But that never happened. So.
Well, you got a pretty big core group just in your family. You told me you got 14 brothers.
Yeah, yeah, and they're all everybody's pretty upset about it. My sisters are pretty upset, and our family is pretty upset, and just trying to keep everybody cool, and hope, let this thing play out. Hopefully justice will be.
Well, I think what the chairman was saying is what are the possibilities of getting people organized? And it just seems to me that, right there in your family, you got the core people who could actually organize around this case and make it into something that everybody knows about, because the media seems to be treating it very lightly. So,
well, what things that I hear, like people in barbershops. I heard that story in the barbershop. They were talking about it in the barbershop. Or I heard that story at the gas station. They were talking about it at the gas station. Or I was at work and they were talking about it. I'm hearing these things. But as far as people collectively getting together and saying, hey, let's do this, I haven't, we haven't.
Would your family come together? If we came to Tampa and tried to pull a meeting together, would your family come together to talk about this?
Of course.
And let's put together an organization that could start with your family being the organization.
Of course,
yes.
of course. Of course.
What are the charges? Are they still have charges against this child?
Yes. Oh, yes. Charges are.
Well, officially on the police report, it says offense 1 is disruption of a school function. Offense 2 is resisting arrest without violence. So she actually got 2 charges. I wouldn't be surprised if they think up some more.
Well, which came in the mail. Which came to us weeks after this happened. It was weeks after this happened. It was over 3 weeks. As a matter of fact, I think my brother-in-law said it was exactly 22 days
before they actually filed a charge.
Right.
Okay.
Because my niece had to leave school in the ambulance. On the report, he says that she left with my sister. She didn't. She did. But they both left in the ambulance. So it wasn't. He's the things that he's telling people and they're telling the school board is all just smoke and mirrors.
Mm-hmm. Brother Benny, I appreciate you being our guest. Time went very quickly, but. We really appreciate you coming on and telling your story. We want to get involved in this. We want to call on people to really make generous donations to Brittney Spear Media. You can see the kind of stories that we tell that the mainstream media will not tell. So call us here at 888-313-7060 and please get involved. That's your way to donate to the Brittney Spear Media and build this media source. This is revolutionary media. This is different from your St. Petersburg Times, Tampa Tribune, Channel 8 News in this area, and different from the other bourgeois media that you might have in your areas wherever you are if you're watching. So we really want to encourage people. Call 888-313-7060. Again, Brother Benny, appreciate you being our guest.
Thank you very much.
And we will definitely be talking.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be watching some more video of the chairman's presentations in Ferguson. Please be our guest and stay with us. Don't leave. Watch the rest of the show. And we'll definitely be talking after the show.
Thank you again.
Thank you, brother.